What is an Ohio OVI court suspension? I'm Shawn Dominy. I'm an Ohio OVI lawyer, and this video is going to answer that question. In most Ohio OVI cases, there are two different suspensions. One is an administrative license suspension imposed by the Bureau of Motor Vehicles, and that's the subject of a different video. This video, we're focusing on the court suspension. And a court suspension is just what it sounds like. It's imposed in court by a judge or magistrate, and it's part of the sentence if you plead guilty to OVI or if you're found guilty of OVI. If that happens, the length of the court suspension depends on the number of prior OVI convictions in the last 10 years. So if you don't have any prior OVI convictions in the last 10 years and you plead guilty or you're found guilty, then the license suspension is going to be a minimum of 1 year and a maximum of 3 years. If you're a first-time offender, however, you may be able to get that initial license suspension reduced by using ignition interlock device in your vehicle. For a second conviction within 10 years, the license suspension will be somewhere between 1 year and 7 years. For a third offense within 10 years, the license suspension is somewhere between 2 years and 12 years. And for 4 or more, the suspension is 3 years to lifetime. And unlike a first-time offender, all of the other license suspensions cannot be reduced by using the ignition interlock device. If you're convicted of OVI and facing a license suspension, and you had an administrative license suspension that was imposed on the day of your arrest, you will get credit for the administrative suspension toward the period of suspension that comes from the court. And if you're facing an OVI charge, I know that can be overwhelming. So what I recommend is that before you take any action or make any decisions, you educate yourself as much as possible about your situation. These videos are a good way to do that. You may also want to check out my website, dominylaw.com, where you can find dozens of pages of information about OVI. And you may also want to download from the website an ebook so that you have all the information in one concise resource. As you educate yourself, I hope that you find all of these resources are helpful.